Hi, Mario. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How is it going?
Fantastic, and I'm actually really happy to be here. Really feel excited about the topics that we're going to discuss and tackle some issues and questions together. Looking forward to it.
Beautiful. Me too. Beautiful. And thank you so very much for being here. And you see, now I'm about to recite my anthem. Okay, I say these words all the time to all of my guests, and that's because I feel like it is important. So, firstly, Mario, I want to thank you for investing in yourself. And you see, you are on this platform right now because you invested in yourself. And oftentimes, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You see, Mario, some months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, there was this tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry, and I just walked past it. But you see, Mario, just recently, I was on that same road. And this time around, a lot's changed. You see, the mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance. Immediately, I got the urge to move closer and have a good look. When I got closer to the tree, Mario, it wowed me because this time around, the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, a lot of beautiful green leaves and healthy branches, and not just mangoes, but ripe mangoes. So, it was a beautiful moment that day. Now, my point is, the fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing person that you are today, that alone has made it impossible for me to say nope to you. And that's why you see you got the request, that's why you see you are on the show right now, and we're about to benefit from the fruit of your knowledge, the fruit of your work, your philosophy, and all that you do. So thank you so very much for being on the show, and thank you so very much for investing in yourself. We truly appreciate it.
That
Yeah.
means
Beautiful. So let's get started. You see, Mario, I'm quite excited to have you on the show today for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. For I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Mario, I believe it takes the application of knowledge. Not just knowledge, but the application of it. And you see, Mario, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very, very, very important to me and even to the listeners. The second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Mario on the show is for the sake of the listeners. You see, Mario, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality information. And I'm totally convinced, Mario, that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, Mario, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or professional journey. We are just so curious right now. We want to know how Mario got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Mario, over to you.
I'm laughing because I was reflecting on this recently, like what I've been through, how far I've come, and struggles and turbulence in the past, and made it here. So, yeah, thank you for bringing this up. So I was actually born and raised in Egypt, Cairo, Egypt, North Africa. And I moved to the US. I came to the US about 25 years ago. I was a teenager to simply study English. That was my goal, to study English. But the first 3 years, between working and going to college, the first 3 years, I took basic English, basic grammar, all the basics to learn. And fast forward in 2010, I attended Bellevue College in Seattle. And after that, Washington, UW, University of Washington. And I am a researcher in communication, author, and speaker. I feel so blessed to be doing what I'm doing. And I want to manage of how much I'm sharing because I'm sure you have questions because I can keep sharing with you the story. Are you still there? Did we freeze? We froze. Elijah, can you hear me? We froze? Are you there?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Please go ahead.
I'm panicking, going everywhere. So, yeah, I was saying I can go on about that, but then I want to keep it short and sweet at the beginning and answer any deeper questions that you might have. I don't feel
Beautiful,
like
beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So you see, listening to you speak is really, really, really pleasurable. And I love the part where you said you were very specific the reason why you came to the US just to study English. And oh man, now you are so fluent at speaking English. It's amazing. So that's going to lead to the very first question. Can you talk to us about communication and why is it important?
I love the question. And now I know that if we pause for a second or something, we did not get disconnected. You're just giving me the space to share. The moment I hear the word communication, I feel tingles in my heart. I love the topic. With my depth and understanding of what communication is, I was able to do what many researchers do eventually with time. You start to coin your own definition. If you type on Google right now, or if you look up on the dictionary, what is communication? You will get different answers. Even if in a live workshop, when I have one, if there's like 25 people in the group and I ask them this question, what is communication? I will get 25 different answers and none of them is wrong. It's just our perception, understanding. So with this long introduction about communication, I'm about to share my own coin definition. That's only mine, but I'm sharing with other people. I
Okay.
see it a non-stop, voluntary and involuntary process of exchanging information, energy, vibration. We are always communicating. I'm going to repeat that again. Communication for me is a non-stop, voluntary and involuntary process of exchanging information and energy. Why is communication important? Obviously, this question is on my mind all the time, and I get asked that often. Let me put it this way. Have you ever heard the following quote? Unexpressed expression causes depression. That's how
Just now.
vital communication is. Just now. Honestly, I don't remember who said it, but I love that quote a lot. For me, communication is like air. It's everywhere. We constantly doing it, even with ourselves. So I'll pause here. I give you a chance to ask the next question.
Beautiful. And thank you for that, insightful definition. I love that. Okay. How then can we introduce communication to someone who doesn't care? I don't know if you got that.
No, I do get it. Basically, you're asking, how would you get someone interested in the topic, even if it's... I'm going to
Exactly.
answer this. Yeah, I'm going to answer this in a long way. Over 20 years ago, when I used to see communication on a job application or a form or like people asking for high skills in communication, I was not interested. I used to see communication as like, oh, this is for high class people, CEOs and executives, and all it took for me was to take one communication class and a huge light bulb came on. Obviously, I studied many other things before communication, studied psychology, accounting, business, anthropology. Once my eyes landed on communication, I knew this was the thing for me. Now, how would I bring it up to someone who may not care, who may not be interested? As I said a minute ago, communication is like air everywhere. If someone is having a conversation with me and share openly about what is going on with them, something they're working on, something they might be struggling with, or there might be conflict in some kind of relationship they're involved in, that's my door. That's communication. Most relationship issues, communication. Most of the struggles that we go through and we're trying to find a way around it is how we communicate with ourselves. With that being said, I'm going to take this opportunity and share with you and our amazing listeners the primary three types of communication. And this is very important to be clear on it. No specific order. I'll start with the big one, group communication, which is usually more than 2-3 people. It can be a larger, it becomes organizational communication. Another type is interpersonal communication. what you and I are having right now, interpersonal. The third one is really close, so I'm going to say a little bit slowly. It's intrapersonal communication. So there's interpersonal communication with others, specifically one on one, and intrapersonal communication, how we communicate and converse with ourselves. Imagine realizing the value of how we talk to ourselves shapes our lives. With this, if anyone listening right now and still curious about why communication is important, I would say take a minute, pause, reflect on something that is going on in your life that you are trying to do something about. And once you find the struggle, you find what's getting in your way, you reprogram your own mind. Have you heard the word mantra?
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people hear mantras. Mantras pretty much in all religions, cultures. So mantra is actually a Sanskrit word. So basically mantra is something that we repeat over and over and it becomes part of our subconscious. So mantra, two words, Sanskrit. Man, it really means mind. Tra, it means tool or skill to create something. So it's the tool for the mind. So whatever we repeat to ourselves with other people or when we're alone, this becomes reality. And sometimes that happens overnight. Some other times it might take weeks or months. That's how vital for us to be aware of how we communicate with ourselves and the results of that. That's where real change starts from. Not him, not her, how we communicate with ourselves.
Amazing. Very, very insightful. And thank you for sharing these stuffs with us, Mary. Okay, I'm just a bit curious right now. Is there a connection between breathing and communication?
What was the first one?
Okay, breathing, to breathe.
Oh, breathing. Oh, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I love that you asked that. So I'm actually, I have a great deal of interest in yoga and meditation, and I'm actually taking a course right now to be a yoga teacher. It's like I don't have enough to do, so I'm like adding more to my list. I love that you bring this up. Breathing. Imagine trying to speak while you're inhaling and trying to speak while you're exhaling. Every single time we speak, we're exhaling. We're actually dispensing energy. If there's something related to communication and breathing, what comes up for me is anxiety. That is something I deal with. Sometimes managing our breathing can be extremely helpful, as we already know, to our parasympathetic system, which helps us to not feel fight or flight situation, where we actually calm down. We can actually manage our own emotions and how we communicate with ourselves by something called square box breathing. That sounds familiar? Sounds familiar? Yeah. Where you like inhale, count 4, hold, count 4, exhale, and you do the whole. This is a very powerful practice. If it's done maybe 3 to 4 times, it really calms the nervous system, which will help us to build clarity to be able to express and convey what is the message that we're trying to put out. Because when we speak, we create. We're creating words. There was something else on my mind. There's something else I want to tell you. I lost it.
When we speak, we create words. I got that. I got that. Okay, we have one more to go. I was with someone some weeks back, and the person was sharing a particular experience with me as to he's got this very, very, very effective product, and he said he tried to advertise the product, with his
Mm-hmm.
mouth marketing and all, and he said people didn't even act positive towards buying the product. They didn't buy it at all. And I said, really? He said, and this is a very effective product. It's very, very valuable. And I asked him, how did you approach them? And he said, I just approached them informally and I just did my thing. And I discovered that he messed up the way when he was trying to communicate the importance of the product. That was where he messed up. And so because he couldn't communicate effectively now, he was unable to sell those products. So let's say that pal of mine is currently listening to our conversation and he asks you a question and says, "Hey Mario, I don't want to make that mistake again. So how do I communicate effectively next time?" What would your response be?
Communicating effectively really comes from being aware of our ability to create words. And I'm going back to that last point again because it's very important. So we're going to take 5 seconds of silence right now to demonstrate a point. Now I speak. Before that, there was silence. As we said, words do create. Also, the blueprint for a healthy communication is diving deep into how we connect with ourselves. When no one is around, what do we tell ourselves? Right before we go to sleep, what are we telling ourselves? When you wake up in the morning and you say good morning to someone or you haven't seen anyone, no one is around, what is the first thing you tell yourself? That's a great key point to start from. If you monitor how we communicate with ourselves, with time, you will realize a hefty deal of negative self-talk. Being aware of that, challenge that thought intentionally. Inhaling, exhaling, breathe, and just let the thought go and say, I can do this. Being positive no matter what. Hence my first book, Empowering Communication Unleashed. We all have an amazing, incredible power within us, yet we're not really aware of it. And sometimes consequences of that is misusing the tool. And if you allow me really quick, I'm aware of time, but I feel like I have to plug this in about the breathing and communication. When we communicate with someone, if we perceive their breathing rhythm, we can actually sync up with them faster. We can actually feel how our words impacting someone else. If I'm going off at someone, for example, and I'm not aware of it because I'm human, it happens sometimes, and I see their reaction, they either holding their breath or breathing fast or like they have their hands on their heart or something like that, I go like, this is a sign for me that I need to adjust a little bit. Awareness. Thank you for giving me the chance to elaborate on that. You're awesome.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I'll take that as a final thought. So for folks who like to reach out to you, Mario, or ask you questions, or make a purchase of your book or your programs, how can that be possible?
I feel so blessed and I'm so grateful. I have an amazing team that's doing all the marketing for me and my website, www.mariowissa.com. Also, my email is contactme@mariowissa.com. And I'm also on Facebook, LinkedIn, social media. That incredible staff I'm working with, they're making it all happen. I just do what I'm really good at, and they're professionals as when they're helping me with. So, thank you.
Beautiful. So that's going to be the end of the show, Mario. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing these words with us. It means a whole lot, man. Thank
You're a very kind soul. I appreciate you. You're amazing. Thank you for being flexible as well because yesterday's
you.